Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Mrs. C here, coming to you again. T from Mrs. C, and it's all about me. Have y'all ever, now that I reached a grand age of 64, have y'all ever felt like your joints ache unnecessarily? Didn't used to ache before? Have you ever gotten down on your knees and couldn't get back up? Let me tell you something. You get down there if you want. You better have something to pull you up because you're not going to get up on your own. I've gotten down on my knees and called myself, I'm going to straighten up stuff in my knees. Oh my goodness. So then what I did, I decided I'm going to sit down. I sat down and then I couldn't get up for sure because I was in my bathroom and my bathroom has the ceramic tile on the floor. So it's hard. I got down there, honey, and let me tell you, oh my goodness. You know that commercial, I've fallen and I can't get up? That's exactly how I felt. I've fallen and couldn't get up. I was down there, and then if I turned over to my right, I had to get on my knees, and that hurt. Then if I turned to the left, I had to get on that left knee, and that hurt. I was stuck on that floor for a minute. I was scooting until I got over there to the tub, was able to pull myself up off the floor. That's amazing, y'all. That's amazing. One of the things too that I learned too was taking medications. Some of those medications cause spasms in your back or pain in your back and pain in your joints. So some of the stuff may not be all necessarily age related. It could very well be from the medication in which you're taking. Because the medication, I had to look it up like, wait a minute, is this medicine? Is this what's causing it? And some of it, will cause those type of symptoms. Not only that, it will cause you to have respiratory problems, because I have seasonal sinuses or allergies or whatever you want to call that, postnasal cotton pick and drip. I have that. And so now with taking the medicines, for the blood pressure and the statins, it can very well cause that. I'm like, dang, go on it, You're trying to, do what you're supposed to do, which I'm going to continue to take it until I am told that all is well. But yes, you will find that sometimes your medication will cause additional aches and pains. And then you find yourself taking yourself Tylenol or something, or Advil or whatever, but Tylenol to help relieve some of that pain. Because the day I scrubbed the kitchen floor, I was so proud of myself. My hips was hurting just from going back and forth with that mop handle, going this way and that. Oh my goodness. My right hip was singing name that tune. That's what it was hurting. And I had to take myself some Tylenol, extra strength Tylenol, and that knocked the pain out. But yeah, as we get older, women, I'm talking to you a lot, and you're going to find that your joints hurt. You're going to find that you sit down, and I used to be able to put my, how you fold your legs, put your legs together, fold them. I could still do that. But then I got to peel it off of myself when I try to unfold my legs, because my legs seem like they lock right there in place. And I'd be like, oh my goodness, and the pain. Like, oh my. And see, I remember when I was a little girl, I used to be really thin, skinny, bony, to say the least. That's what I was. I was a bone. And my knees used to crack back then. And so back then, they had gym. And so, when you go to school, you had the gymnasium and you go to gym. And I remember one of the things that they wanted you to do, they wanted you to squat and stuff like that. I was scared to squat down because my knees would crack, make all that noise. And I was so embarrassed because I had these little bones, first of all, bony legs. And, and then with the knees cracking, that just did not register well with me. And so now as I gotten older, so my knees continue to crack, even time go on. But now that I've gotten older, my knees still cracked. And, so I have grandkids now, I have 11. And so when they were little, and they'd be over, the little ones, you can't even sneak up the daggone steps to see what they're doing because they hear you coming. Crick, crick, because their knees are cracking, And so, as time go on too, still, those knees start hurting. It's not the same as just a regular crack. They start hurting, when they crack. And like, what the heck? What the heck? So, I've noticed differences. I noticed like even sitting inside a vehicle and then you get out the vehicle, you got to like push, push yourself up out, out the seat. And I'm like, it's like, when did this happen? When did I get like this? It seemed like it happened overnight, literally. So it's almost like you got to stretch to get in the vehicle and stretch before you get out. Stretch to get out of the bed, and stretch when you get in the bed because you don't cramp up in the bed, a muscle cramp or something because your muscles hurt or something, so yeah, this is a different time in which I am in. I'm thankful. I am so happy that I'm in this time to be able to experience it, and even just to talk to you about it. Have any of y'all ever had these type of experiences where your joints are now hurting and you're feeling that pain, stuff that you didn't used to feel before? But also too, now that I'm retired, I retired twice, so now two different jobs. So now that I'm retired, as you get to this stage in age, you got to file for Medicare. And you could do it 3 months before you turn 65 or 3 months after. So the process is very, very simple. So anybody that are interested and have to do that, you just go online and you take care of that. SSA.gov, and it just, you click on a link and it'll walk you right through. It's a simple process, and you'll get your card in the mail. So yeah. But back to those joint achings. I tell you, I'm telling you, there's different things, the way your body feel. You feel, you think you can do it. You think you can do it. Your mind say you can do it, but your body say, yeah, go ahead and try. Go ahead. I'm gonna show you who's boss. Because you'll get up and you think, and see, I'm wondering. I love to dance. Oh my goodness, but afterwards, your hips hurting, your thighs are hurting, your knees is hurting. Your feet might be even hurting, you be achy, So what I sometimes would do, I would take two not Tylenol, two Advil before I go to that mode of the dance mode, so I could be already getting that stuff, knock the pain out before the pain get to me. But yeah, it's your body just different now. It's different. And I'm glad that I could feel these things. I remember a long time ago when I was much younger, this woman, she was from Russia, and she said, if you feel pain, that's a good thing because you're alive. That means that you're alive. But if you wake up and you don't feel nothing, you're looking around like, okay, where am I? Okay, am I still here? Because I don't feel nothing. So it's a good thing to feel. It's a good thing to feel. But I tell you, now that I am at this age and at this stage, it's a difference. Your body goes through changes and, unexplainable changes, So I don't know. But again, I'm here. I'm going to do my walking. This morning I got up, I made myself some oatmeal with some cinnamon and some sugar, because that's what I like, and a little bit of sugar. And I also put a little bit of butter, although that's cholesterol, but I put a little bit of that in there. And I like a little bit of milk, if I didn't say that. So it was a mixture of stuff that was in there. And then I had a scrambled egg white, so, and how I did it, I had 2 eggs. I got rid of one of the yolks. And so it wasn't a complete egg white because the other yolk that I had, I sort of cut that in down to a third. So I just had like a third of that egg yolk in my egg, so it could look like egg, not total egg white. And I scrambled that this morning. So that's all I had so far. And now it's in the evening. So I'm just trying to figure out. And I had an apple. I'm sorry, I had an apple. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back it up. I did make a pineapple cake, a pineapple pound cake. So I don't make a great big one because it's just us, me and my hubby. So I just make a big enough cake, for us. And so what I do is I do the eggs, put the eggs in there. But first I do the butter. 1 stick of butter. I use 1 stick of butter, and I mix that a little bit for a while until it's nice and smooth. Then I use 1.5 cups of sugar. I mix that in there, and about 5, 6 minutes mixing it, and it be nice consistency. That it doesn't look all crumbly, and it's a nice consistency. And then after I do that, then I add my all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of that. But what I do is I do a little bit at a time, a third each time, and I use a 1/2 cup of milk too. So, and I use lactose milk, and it works just as fine. And so I put my flour in there, and I mix that all up nice and good. And then I put some milk in there, alternating back and forth. And then I do my flavoring. So I use vanilla and lemon. And so I didn't use no, measuring thing. I just poured it, and then I was gonna pour some of this and pour some of that. And so that's the way I did my pound cake, and mixed it all up and good. Because I was having a problem with my pound cake because I got a new stove. My pound cakes were sinking in the cotton picking middle. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, this is a new oven. What am I doing wrong? So I had put my oven on 350. So then I discovered that I should have it on 325. And then the type of pan that I had, nonstick pan that I use. And also to use spray your pan with your Baker's Joy, spray it with that, or the Pam, whatever cake flour mixture. You spray that, and then you put it in the oven. And I put it in the 325, and I kept it in that oven for about, about 45 minutes, 45 to almost 50 minutes. I mean, I cooked my cake. I cooked it, honey. It was cooked. It was done. And then I noticed that it started trying to look like it was trying to fall in the center. Now, my 2 eggs that I use, and my stick of butter, I had that out for a while, at least a couple of days, because I was making this cake every day. But of course, if you look at my other videos, I was busy during the morning, so I could not take care of that. And then by the time I got home and everything I did, I was like, okay, I'm tired. So I made it, and I thought that it was not going to be right, but it started sunk a little bit, but then, it was okay. I flipped that boy out of that pan, honey, and it was beautiful. And then I put my pineapples, crushed pineapples. I put crushed pineapples inside of a bowl and put some confectionery sugar, mix it in there good. And then I just put it on top of my pound cake. That's the way I make my pound cakes. That's the way I make my cake, with crushed pineapple. And it turned out really good. And it was a nice taste. Got a little teeny piece of that. It was a really nice taste, so try it. Follow that recipe that I just threw out there, y'all, real quick. Follow that, and you'll find that it is pretty good. But now I am on this treadmill. I'm going to do my walk like I have done the last couple of days. That I'm going to stay consistent with it. Once again, because now it's in the evening. Keeping it real, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because this is what I need to do. So with that being said, let me cut it on my little two speed, not trying to do no fast speed like I'm racing, or I'm not trying to do all of that. So as you can hear, it's now on again, and I'm walking as I'm talking. So I'm going to end it off on that note while, because as I move, I see my hand is moving, and the screen is going up and down, and I don't want that, so I'm going to end it here. So in the meantime, in between time, but before I say that, you all be blessed. Have a blessed rest of your day. No stress. Don't deal with no mess. In the meantime, in between time now, I will chat with y'all another day, okay? All right, be blessed.